Newly instated chairwoman, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You should say welcome to
yes,
me,
welcome. Yes, welcome to my house.
No, you joined here as chair at a pretty volatile time in December. This war has broken out. There's been a ton of volatility. What has that been like, witnessing the markets now from this front row?
So the good news is this exchange is built for volatility. And so I've been impressed with the resiliency of the market. You know, you're right. We had the most volatile days during the pandemic. Now with the crisis in Ukraine, and so the good news is our markets are doing what they're supposed to do.
We're not having any IPOs though. It's been a really long stretch, and it's been very quiet. How do you bring companies back?
Yeah.
What is the big fear?
Well, you know, 2019 and 2020 were pretty slow first quarters as well, and both of those years were record years for us. You know, uncertain times, means that companies will pause a bit before they come to market. But the pipeline's really robust, and so I think it's just more of a question of timing. Not just the war, but also uncertainty around interest rates, inflation. That kind of volatility makes people pause for a moment.
I wonder if also the underperformance of the newly listed companies last year, we had so many go public, and they haven't done all that well, if that has held back the pipeline. Is that what you're hearing?
I have not heard that, but you're right. There has been some sell-off, particularly with some of the tech stocks. So I think today some of them are rebounding. And so I think the market sentiment really has a big effect on whether the market is up or down.
You are the first person of color, woman of color, to lead the New York Stock Exchange, chair the New York Stock Exchange, and I know it's something that you talk about and you promote diversity. How are you going to, in this role, promote that within public companies?
Well, the good news is I get to combine my passion with the financial markets with my passion with diversity, inclusion, and ESG. So one of the things I plan to do is to use my platform to help our listed companies along their ESG journeys. Not everyone is, at the same pathway. The other way we're helping is, we founded the New York Stock Exchange Advisory Board Council. And the purpose of that was to increase the number of women and diverse candidates who are board ready. And so we found that was the best solution for companies, particularly listed companies who are looking for diversity on their boards.
What about what the NASDAQ is doing, which is instituting a law now that the SEC is backing, where companies have to disclose gender and diversity of its board members and explain why if they don't have that? Would the New York Stock Exchange go so far as to make a rule like that as well?
Well, today 95% of our companies already have at least 2 women on their boards, and 88% have more than 20% women on their boards. And so we found that our solutions-driven approach was a more appropriate way to address diversity. Although I do applaud, any type of activities that's going to promote diversity in the financial markets.
And on that note, too, you said you're focused on ESG. I was wondering what you were thinking of the SEC's new proposed rule that we got this week that would require companies to disclose carbon emissions of their operations. Right. Is that a step too far to require that disclosure, or do you support it?
Well, we obviously are taking a look at the proposal, and we have a good relationship with the SEC, and I personally look forward to working with the Commission and with our issuers and market participants. There will be a 2-month comment period, at least 2 months. And that's what's great about our markets, is we get the opportunity to hear from different people and different viewpoints. And I'm pretty sure we'll hear from different people on this subject as well.